Definitely gonna be dry. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sorry. Nah, you know that. Yeah, I know I can shake that good time. Nah, they don't want to visit party. You gotta visit party. You gotta go to. You also know visit party. That's what I'm saying.
About to turn that man whole damn bottle.
Young DTM this motherfucker, man.
Bitch, I go stupid hard. Hey, this car going a little bit faster than yours, cause this bitch supercharged. Hey, 308, shoot tracer bullets, bitch, look like shooting star. Hey, I just told her Tay, stay on point, that's my
RetroTv, just cut the TV back on, power button clicked on. We back, another episode, man. I'm sorry, I'm a little sluggish. Got a special guest with us today.
I appreciate that. Yo, what's going on? This Heykob, Unit, South Carolina. Yes, sir.
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Nah, I'm good, bro. How about you?
Your boy got me little tips in here, man.
Hey, that's
Word. Hey, not too many people really ask how about you after.
Fan, they don't ask us questions, bro.
You got to.
Nobody ask us questions, bro.
It's a conversation.
I like
bro.
answering the questions back too, though.
Fan.
Get to know each other, though. We finna really chill, you feel me? Relax. Where you get Hey Car from?
Honestly, and I'll kind of talk about it with like my tag, but when I first started making beats, it was like right after like school got cut out because of COVID in 2020, and I had finished making the first beat, and I knew I needed a tag, and I hadn't had a name for it yet, but I was scrolling through like on FL, there's like little folders you have with like different sounds, and Jordan actually had like a little sound. It was just him saying hey, and so I put it in and I put some effects on it, and it sounded right. And so after that, I was like, I got my first beat, but I need a name. So I just said, Hey Cobb, and it stuck.
Okay, so Jordan, why Hey?
Hey, I was I was trying to just like play around with stuff, and for a song intro, I just said that real loud.
So she was like a random.
Yeah.
Just like, yo, some shit.
It was like an ad lib, pretty much. And I just took the ad lib and made it my tag, and
okay.
it
For
stuck.
those who don't know, who is Jordan?
Oh, that's my brother. Yeah, identical twins, look just like me.
Yo, hold on, I get it.
And you don't come around the camera.
What's good?
That's stupid, bro.
Fan, bro. Clones.
Dude said clone, but how was it growing up with a twin?
It was cool. I mean, like, you know, everybody's talking about like how like twin day, like supposed to dress up and switch seats and all that. But I mean, it's cool like having somebody that you like can like totally relate to, if that makes sense. Because as we've like grown up, like every single thing that I've gone through and he's gone through, we've done it together.
Yeah, both of y'all in music too. That shit cool.
Thanks, for sure. Honestly, he's probably the reason that I started doing music because I didn't have any of the equipment. And since he was already doing it, I just kind of used his computer when he wasn't using it.
Oh, okay. So you just kind of felt it. Like, was you trying to sing too, or you was just like you just straight making beats?
I got a couple songs on SoundCloud. Y'all ain't gotta look that up though. y'all ain't gotta look that up. But I had it just as like Jacob Lawson. That's like my real name. But it was over time I never really like wanted to be like in the spotlight, but I always knew I wanted to make beats and like be a part of music somehow. And so I just found my niche and I just stuck with it.
What grade was this?
I had always knew that I wanted to do something with music, but I never really started taking beats seriously. Probably until 2020, like right after my freshman year or college.
But you were in the band. I remember it.
Yeah.
You guys had a band.
You taking it back, bro. Yeah, me and
that's crazy. Put flyers up.
Yeah, we all from the same place, so this right here we all right.
Yes, sir.
We locked in already.
Yeah. When did we start Mellow Night? What, 8th grade?
Like 2014, 2015.
It was something like that. We had like a little Facebook page where it was Jordan pretty much did everything, like guitar, drums, and all that. And then me and then one of my best friends, Yoshi Vasquez, he sang with me. And yeah, we performed at the fair in Union a couple times. We did like the Jonesville Festival they had. We did like the Sims pageant, just like little shows
I
around.
gave y'all a band.
Oh no.
It wasn't nothing like wild. It was a decent. I think the most we ever got paid was probably like 300 like
Man,
together.
In high school and shit.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
$300 in high school, you the man.
Right. It wasn't bad. Well, these guys think
Word.
You the man.
we had to split it. We had to split it with 3 people though. So it was like
Shit, $100 a one, flipped it.
Money
Spread that shit.
Money spread with the ones.
$100 for like 30, 45 minutes. Like, yeah, that ain't bad. But especially if you're 16, you going to McDonald's and you learn how to drive, so yeah, it ain't bad.
So you never really had a problem with getting in front of people like to perform anything. Cause it sounds like you just can right up there like you ain't got no problem with getting in front of people.
I think like when I first started singing, probably when I was like 8 or 9, it was probably like I guess like stage fright. But after that, it's just kind of the more you do it, the more you get comfortable, and it really wasn't that bad. But everybody like you do stuff over repetition, and you'll just get used to it. And so I just got used to it.
So what made you transition from live performances, being in the band, working together to make some music, to being behind the computer and instruments and
Behind the scenes.
Right. Like I said before, like I'd always wanted to be a part of music somehow if I could, and I knew that being on the stage just wasn't really something that I wanted to do. Just like with my image, I think I would rather just be behind the scenes doing stuff. And plus, there's just something about when you get that laptop and it's just you and you lock in. It's just something different about it. I don't know how to explain it, but
it just feels good when you know how to do something, work a program, and you watch it come to life. Your imagination, basically.
Right, absolutely, for sure.
So 2020 was your triggering point, like to really lock all the way in.
Yeah, because I just started like messing around, and then actually I sent a beat, the first beat I ever made, to Lil Dee, and he had texted me back, and he was like, "Yeah, I like this," and I was like, "How much you want for it?" And I was like I didn't even know how prices and stuff like that works. I was like $10. I was like, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
but
no.
Me and him, we've been locked in, and then but so I didn't know, and I said that, and we cool, and then it was probably like 3 months later, and I had been making some beats, but I hadn't been like taking it as serious. I got that first song back, and as soon as I got that first song back, like seeing like somebody actually on one of my beats, I knew I could do it.
But shout out Lil Dee, man.
Facts, that's my dog. That's probably the person I work the most with.
With the most? Yeah. So what other artists you work with?
You mean like unreleased or like stuff that's out?
In general.
Yeah, in general. Like.
Your favorite people you can have a little ball with.
To work with, obviously Jordan, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But it's a twin thing. But definitely Lil Dee. There's a guy out of North Carolina named Jonah Rain. He's got some buzz going out there. But I got probably 3 or 4 with him, unreleased. Really, me and most of my the placements with people I got is from DTMs, like either from his loops or my loops or just either way. But we got some with 30 Gang Cho on the way.
I think you had some with Stunner.
That's the biggest one I had was it's a dude named Get Rich Zay out of North Carolina. But I'll tell that story later. That's a long story. But so Get Rich Zay, that's by far my biggest placement. But just local people that I work with, definitely Lil Dee, Deontay. I got a couple with Coach Pete. We got one with Slime. Yeah, it's probably.
With you and your brother living together, do y'all make music like in here, like constantly?
Normally we'll push up at the studio, but if we're like getting an idea together, that's like where we'll normally start off at. Is we'll either be in here or in his room.
Y'all got your own studio? Yeah.
He got it's like a kind of we and him got the same laptops we got for school, but we got that laptop, and then he's got his little mic that he got probably 3 or 4 years ago, and we got all the the interface and all that. But it's a little studio. One of the first songs that Jordan recorded, we recorded here. So, but yeah. You good?
No,
you good?
Just looking this way, it's hurt. I'm trying not to look.
You pull something? You good?
I just sitting right here.
Peanut butter whiskey on the man.
Chill. I don't drink. I sip. Well, yeah. Alright. What's your favorite producer to collab with?
Definitely. I mean, by far, just the person I've collabed the most with, and just the person I've had locked in with, definitely been DTM for sure. Yes, sir. But DTM, and then there's another guy named Jay Shirts, but I think now he produces as Jesse Shirts. But I met him through Speed Life, which is the studio that I'm interning at, and then we've just been locked in for a while. We got a couple of songs together, but there's a lot of stuff unreleased too. But.
Are people usually like surprised when you pull up and they see who you are like behind these beats?
I had never had like somebody be like, wow, that's a white dude making beats like this. But it's been like, I don't know, I guess people, that's a good question. I've never had somebody like outright be like, dang, I ain't think you was a white boy, but that's just, I think it's more just like once they see me.
Type of white boy?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't, what type of white boy would you classify me as if you saw me? Like, first time you met me, what would you classify me as?
Rockstar, man. My boy had a band.
Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, bro.
Hippie, cool, laid back.
I appreciate it.
Nah, bro, all been cool. We had a couple classes together. I can't remember what classes it was.
Yeah, I think that psychology class. I can't remember that. It's been a while, bro.
I had class with Jordan. Was it Miss Heatherly?
Yeah, you know, history.
Yeah, I had Miss Heatherly. Shout out Miss Heatherly, man. She was a real fire teacher. She threw up the game and everything, man. She a squid.
She got a fine too. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, word. Hey,
on, man.
I bust Miss Heatherly. I hope she watching this shit.
This boy got on camera. This boy saying on camera.
Word, I said, hey, I bust Miss Heatherly.
Oh, damn.
I always think she's still I don't know if she's still out there. But
I've seen her before, but I have to like see her face to remember who she was. But I've heard the name before.
Word, I bust Miss Heatherly. You have?
You had her?
He was.
Word.
You ain't gotta say nothing. You just shake the head. It's alright, but it's funny.
But how you?
So far it's good. It's been kind of like starting off just with school. It's been kind of slow like so far this year, but especially with all the stuff unreleased that's coming, I hope it's gonna be a good year for sure.
So how you feel like you found that good balance between getting your schoolwork done and make sure that's all situated and getting your business, handling your business?
I feel like it's a process because at first, especially with how online school was, like I was so used to like having like a block of time set to do like stuff every day, and then I could just do beats after. But when I got to college, it was, especially with the online classes, it was like different stuff to do at all these different times and all these different days, and I'm still trying to work through the process of having enough free time to like be with my girlfriend and like do stuff I want to do, but also lock in and at the same time not fail and have to drop out.
Is your girl, I ain't trying to expose you. I don't want to say in the way, but is she respecting the process? Like she like, if she see you locked in, she's like, okay, back off.
A lot of times, like when I go over to her house, if we like go to like cookout, like she'll like either ask or I'll play some stuff for her, and just having that person who like will be honest with you, because if something's bad, like if I have a song come out with somebody, if something's just bad, I don't want them to tell me. And she would definitely, like she's told me before, like that's whack. Like you should just be honest.
Yeah.
But also like having somebody there to like fully support you, I've been blessed for sure.
How are you going about getting Heykob? How you going about getting your name out there? Like what's the plan you got to just gonna be me to?
What's your blueprint?
Yeah, the blueprint's making you bigger.
That's a good question. Definitely, I've started trying to grow my YouTube just by talking with the guy who owns Speed Life, Jordan Easley. He's like showed me just like little tips to like help like start either beat sales or just growing the YouTube in general. But that's definitely one on the checklist. Locking in with more artists like 6'3", like especially if I can lock in with more people that are coming to Speed Life because I'm already there.
Yeah.
And so by building that network, that's net worth. It's like the more people you know, the faster you can grow. If you just gotta use it, right?
Yeah.
But
connections.
Yeah, for sure. But definitely, I feel like to get that blueprint going like faster, I have to start managing my time better. But once I get that down, it's just keep doing what I've been doing, keep locking in.
Yeah. What's one of your major hiccups? Is something that slows you down here and there?
If I'm gonna be honest, procrastinating on schoolwork. Like I know I got something to do and the next day, I'm gonna do it that day.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours before it's due.
Do it at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's for college shit, bro. I used to do my shit like 2 hours. Like for real, 2 hours. For
What's your major?
So right now I'm technically a senior at Upstate. I'm doing economics and finance. So it's just a whole lot of math. It's a whole bunch of math, but it's cool. Like I like it, but it's just sometimes the work feels like I feel like I'm not really learning like stuff that I can use. Like I'm cool with like learning like about like stocks and stuff like that because that stuff's always interested me. But learning like theories about like macroeconomics, like I'm not going to use that in 5 years.
Do you really see your degree that you're using in the future? Like, do you really see? Like, is it really pointless?
I think it could help with like the business side of like managing. Like once you build your brand, you have to like know what to do with the money you get.
Yeah, your numbers.
Yeah, facts. But as far as like I said, like I'm never gonna be at the studio making beats and somebody gonna ask me like, what's the macroeconomic theory about this? Like they're not gonna, that's not the first thing that's gonna pop in their head. So as far as like with like the financial side of like knowing how to manage my money, I think that'll help. But other than that, not for real, to be honest with you.
But you just gonna you might as well go and finish your scene.
I mean, I'm already here, and plus I feel like it's good to have a backup plan, like in case everything don't work. But yeah, so I'd like to, if I can do music for sure, definitely. But if I can always.
That's number one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Don't be number one, bro. Put that in the chat, bro. It's good on your resume. Degrees always good on your resume. Don't get it wrong. People out there who are watching. Go ahead, you finish. Go ahead and do that shit, bro.
If you're there, you might as well. If you there and you actually like enjoy what you're doing, you got to do it. Cause if you don't like what you're doing, or if you can't find something that you don't like, or if you have a better opportunity to do something else, then I'm not going to tell nobody to drop out. But do what you have to do that's best for yourself.
They waxing no pockets, going to get out of it, though. That dick going to hit, I'm telling you.
Facts.
Absolutely. Like, that dick goes crazy.
That shit for real. And then I be seeing people like stressed about schoolwork, then their money, then they gotta get a job. That shit just be so much in hand. So you work at the studio?
So right now we started an internship, and I think right at the start of November, and then there's plans later on. I don't want to block my blessings before they happen, but there's plans going on later where if everything works out, I could possibly be working there in the future. So.
You plan on relocating anytime soon?
It depends, because I've thought about moving to Colombia if I can, just because one, my girlfriend's going down there in Colombia, and two, there's opportunities for me down there that I can
you can grow more.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if I'm at Speed Life and if I can continue to keep working at Speed Life, I'll just have to see. That's an undecided plan right now, but we'll just see for the future. But
look at him.
You would like to work with?
You said I never worked with before. Definitely by far. Probably if I had if I had anything like top 5. Highway for sure. Highway music is so hard.
Dude, that should be hard though.
Yeah.
You can hold this for a second, bro. My damn neck.
If I could do probably NG, that'd be clutch. If I could get that done. Yeet for sure. That'd be insane.
That shit what?
We'll get that interview, man. We always be talking about the Tonka, but that's 3. Jack Harlow would just be a dream, just because I've liked that man's music from the jump anyway, and so if I can see that come to fruition from like listening to his music before I even started making beats to getting that. 5. Probably if I could get one with Roddy Ricch, I feel like that would be like, if you have that placement set, like I mean other stuff would come, but if you have that set, that's like, that would be like an establishing point, like one of the first like major placements you get. I feel like that would be a solid one to get, for sure.
I'm trying to get it right, man. It's like,
because like this, you need another pillow.
The back, it's not high. It's like it's not supporting on my back, so it's just like supporting me in my back.
Nigga, a giant, man.
That's why I had to turn. I was sitting here like this. Like I started straight, like and I had to.
I'm trying to get my
chill.
How I'm trying to sit right.
You good, bro?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this you feel me?
It ain't bad. Plus you get the pillow back here for support. You straight.
I gotta get my lower back. For real, this shit real. Like once you get a little older, this shit start fucking with your body a little bit.
Do something like
I'm just saying it, Drew. If you ain't working out your body, man, your body gonna be fucked up.
You work out? Get at them.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna cap. He was shaking his head. No, it's not that
Got lots of push-ups, though. Got at least do that.
I need to. So when I played before I went to, like, I was still at USC Union before I transferred to upstate, and I played soccer for that year, and I was in shape, like so in shape. And then two things, when COVID hit, and then just over time as I stopped playing soccer, I'm not gonna say like I'm like winded, out of shape. Like I can run and like I'm not gonna like pass out and have asthma attack, nothing like that. But I'm not in nowhere near shape I need to be.
I remember you guys playing soccer. I remember. The boys go fly. Boy, that soccer condition in hell though.
Yeah. Shout out Union County Soccer, man. We was always bad, but we was always there for each other, bro. It was.
We was. What program was it?
Basketball team. We was straight. I played my senior year. I think we went like first round playoffs. That's when Ladarius and all them was there. I know especially when Shy was there playing football. Did you play? You played football, didn't you?
I played. We made the playoffs a couple times. I need that ring up. I get that ring. I'm mad.
You got the state. You want the state ring?
I didn't get the state ring. I want the state ring, man.
Yeah. We tried. I knew like going in, like especially my senior year, just because we started out my freshman year. I played varsity like all 4 years. We started out the first year we won 1 game, whole season. So we were just constantly going to away games and getting beat like 9-1, like 9-2. And for soccer, that's terrible. But no, it was always fun. But we progressively
the highest scores like professionals be like 3.
Yeah.
Like 3-1.
We get beat like 10.
It's a crazy game.
We there's a kid, you know the kicker for Clemson. This dude named BT Potter. He was playing for South Point, and he when we traveled to South Point, so it's like it's in Rock Hill. It's like an hour away, and they beat us like they played us on their senior night. It was like 9 or 10-1, and that's terrible. But like I said, it was always fun with them boys, but we were never that good for real. But it was always fun being out there with them.
So did you like take your work ethic from soccer and playing other sports into music?
I was somewhat say so. I haven't never really like considered, because I mean obviously they're different.
You feel like
but
playing sport disciplines you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because especially on days where it's like I had practice. But when I was playing basketball and I was working out with the soccer team at USC Union before I committed, I would have like 3 practices a day. Because I would start at workouts for basketball and then I'd go straight to USC Union, and then we did 2 a day, so I'd have practice after that. And that was by like 1 or 2, I was so tired, but like I still had stuff I had to do. And I feel like in some ways, I never thought about that. That's a good question. I think that kind of like that could have definitely led into like how I think about locking in. Because I know like every day I need to do something with music if I want to get better. And
you figure you'd rather spend more time making music than running up in that field for these people?
Wait, what'd you say? my fault.
You forgot. Got that phlegm.
You good? My bad.
Look, he forgot.
We'll run it back and we can ask you later. My fault, bro.
I was finna ask you, do you think high school do you feel like high school had an impact on your life today?
We can just pass it back and forth either way. But I got you. But I would say it definitely obviously when you walk into Union County High School at 14, you're not gonna be the same person when you walk out. There's just no way. Like it's just over time, like puberty and just like in general, just like things happen. But I would say that definitely you grow up. You have to, because like I said, just with everything that goes on, you have to grow up. But I would say that, especially with the friends I had made in Union, I would say I've definitely grown as a person through the people I've met there, for sure, absolutely. But because I've had
never forget where you came from.
Yeah, you have to, because that if you forget where you came from, and especially if you blow and then you come back and it's like, if you treat people differently just because you have the success, and did you really even have the success?
Yeah. You'll go back to Union County and help. You'll rebuild the gym or something.
I don't know about that. We can see if I'm in the position to. I'd love to, just because especially if it's where I'm from, and I've always had plans to move out and go places, but I've always wanted to eventually come back to Union, just because one, it's where I grew up, and it's just I love the atmosphere, and I've never been a fan of a super big city in downtown Greenville. I couldn't live down there.
Yeah. Just
the traffic in general, and just how with everything. I like peace and quiet when I go to bed.
I ain't gonna count. Being from Union, it's like me driving 15, 30 minutes to go get something to eat and then coming back. That shit ain't it.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But if Union got there, it's gonna take me 10 minutes to get there and back.
Yeah. Especially because where I was where I lived at was right beside the high school.
Yeah.
And so it's 5 minutes from everywhere you could eat at. So it wasn't too bad.
You travel a lot?
Not as much as I want to. Just like I said, with school, it's the time. I don't really have much time to. I go up to Greenville a good bit. I really want to go down to Atlanta sometime soon. I just got to find a place where I can lock in at. But so if y'all are watching this and y'all want me to pull up on you in Atlanta, just let me know. But Yeah, so I'd probably say outside of Greenville, I don't travel as much as I would like to, but I'm definitely, a part of that blueprint will be definitely traveling around more, for sure.
So when you graduate, you going all in.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that now, especially, I mean, obviously with school, I can't, like, focus all my time.
Yeah.
But the quicker that I can put most of my energy into music, I feel like the quicker the outcome will be, instead of just, like, working on it 2 hours a day after I'm done with, like, social media strategy homework. You know what I mean? It's just like, once I get that time to where I can fully lock in, I'm going to take advantage of it as much as I can. But,
Got to capitalize on your opportunities. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only way you're going to see success.
Right, absolutely. Because I know that, like, obviously, if you're in the studio with somebody, you can't, like, and if you don't know them, you don't want to immediately be like, hey, like, I got a pack of beats, but, like, you want to somehow, like,
let them know.
Yeah, you want to at least let them know that you made beats.
You
yeah.
gotta make conversation. How you doing? What's up? Yeah, I fuck with you.
You gotta get yourself out there.
Yeah, I make music myself.
Right. Cause I know, like, say if I came up.
USB, or not USB, the flash drive.
Yeah. Cause I like say if I came up to y'all and I was like, hey, I make beats. Y'all want to interview me? Like, it would just be like different. But like if we like work, like if you know if we both know who we are, it's different.
Oh, we gonna go do that. We gonna go do that. So we gonna do that interview.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all pulling up, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
So it ain't too big of a spot, but it'll work.
Nah, this shit perfect. We got the vibes right. We got the candles lit.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, we chill.
Jordan don't have candles every time.
Any projects you working on?
So right now, I guess there's nothing that like I know of for sure that's coming out. I know me and D got a couple unreleased. Deontay is a guy up in Spartanburg. I got like 3 or 4 that he's talking about putting on a project. Me and DTM have been locked in with Cho. It's like, I don't know exactly how many songs, but it's a good bit, and I don't know if he got plans for a project or not. But yeah, for sure, it's gonna be a lot of stuff on the way.
It's gonna be a fucking movie.
Yeah, trying to, for sure. And also Jordan, he's got an album. I don't know exactly when.
Midnight Sun this summer.
Word, you heard it there first. And also there's a guy that I've worked with. Me and DTM got a song with him. It hasn't been too long since it got placed. But there's a dude named S.A. Baby. He's a brand new artist. He don't have no music out. But he had reached out to me from an ad that Speed Life had ran. I had done the music behind it. And he had sent me some of his like unreleased stuff. And that dude is talented, bro. That dude, if there's not a lot, like, you hear so much music that like sometimes you can feel like it's like numb almost. But his music's special. Yeah, it's just something about his music. You can just tell he's got it. But he just needs to put the marketing behind it. Yeah, exactly. That's why when you find stuff like that, like you have to take advantage of the opportunity. But I've always been wanted to like build relationships with people. And just from the time I spent with that dude, he's just a cool guy. I love S.A. He's cool. Definitely. Especially because before I even really started making beats, back when Lyrical Lemonade started doing all the videos, he was only doing like, not necessarily like underground artists, but it was like artists that hadn't blown yet. And so I just got put on from that, and then just going through like SoundCloud and just other stuff, like especially when X and all them were first like started, and then just for all the other people that I've been listening to for sure. Yeah. And that's honestly where you find, because like as me, like if I DM Drake, it might not even show up in the DMs. Yeah, and he definitely ain't gonna see it. But those underground artists, especially if you find people that like you actually like and actually want to build a relationship with, that's the way you got to start.
What's your favorite genre to work in when you're making beats?
You mean like type of beats or just like?
At the studio, do a lot of people come in and it be different types of vibes? Like you got a rapper and then you might have a country singer or something like that. Do you get a lot of different type of genres coming in when you're working at the studio?
Normally at Speed Life, it's like, but normally we'll be straight. But normally at Speed Life, it's mostly, I would say, rap that comes in. But as far as like stuff I like to make, definitely rap for sure, and R&B. But I would say those two. But definitely, just most of my placements and most of the music that I make is rap. But I like making some R&B too, for sure.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, facts. I mean, there's a dude. Another one of the artists, you saying this made me think about it. There's a dude named Joe Trufant out of North Carolina. That dude's music, it's just something about his music, bro. I don't know. I don't know if he's exactly signed to K-Camp, but I know he's been locked in with K-Camp for a while. But yeah, if y'all don't know his music, y'all check him out. That man, that's one of them songs you sing to on the way home. I don't know how to explain it. That man makes vibes, bro. But
What's your creative process?
normally when I start out, I just like the first is either I'll start out making a melody, but there's sometimes where like my brain, I just can't do it. So I'll either pull up a loop so normally I'll start with the melody. So if I'm not making the melody myself, I'll pull up a loop, but I'll start like with finding the melody. And once I get enough like bounce to a song in the melody, then I'll start with the drums, and then I'll just add like little sound effects in between to like fill the gaps. But normally for beats, it's like a 3-step process normally. But
What's your inspiration?
I don't know. I mean, that's it. Kind of like.
We all just shit to like totally opposite shit. It's crazy. You'll see that on video.
You want to be one of those slow motion things where everybody doing it. But
Like we went this way and you came up.
Listen to him, bro.
I just noticed it. My bad.
Come.
you said inspiration. I take a lot as far as like the making beat process goes. A lot of the music that I listen to like influences what I make, just because like one, I like how it sounds, and two, if I can get songs that not necessarily similar, but if I can lock in with those artists, and if I listen to the music, I can have a better understanding instead of just like somebody messaging me like, hey, I need this kind of type beat and I don't even know who the artist is. I have to go in and listen to it. But with the people I already know, I don't even got to think about it. I just pull up, and if I have the idea, just run with it. But
You don't look up to nobody coming up.
as far as producers, oh yeah, for sure. Jetson Made by far. I mean, that's like the #1 Carolina producer. Nico, baby, for sure. Foreign. Just especially when Jet and Foreign locked in, just I don't know, it was just something different. It's how his melodies came in. I feel like I'm leaving people out. Definitely those two. Metro, of course. I'd say those are probably, if I had to say like people I look up to, those would be like my biggest influences like coming up, like of as far as like how to do the process, and also Internet Money. With all them people like Nick Mira. YouTube University is what helped me start for real. Because
Stepping stone.
Yeah.
Every interview I just did.
There's no way that if you are a producer now, that is, if you've came up in the past like 5 years, you've watched a YouTube tutorial. You had to. There's no way.
Doing anything, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you 20, like, you 30 something under, you watch YouTube.
Yeah, you have to, bro. Yeah.
Watch YouTube.
But especially with all the tutorials that they've had, like on Internet Money, Nick Mira. I mean, that's the guy who's made he's made Lucid Dreams for Juice WRLD. He's made a lot of stuff for X. He's done honestly a lot of stuff for Juice WRLD other than Lucid Dreams. But that man, just for how he like thinks about stuff, like you watch his videos, and after you take away what you can, and it's that man has blessed me in a lot of different ways for sure.
What about on your sound? Like,
How would you describe it?
Yeah. Influence on your sound.
I honestly, like, I know like a lot of people, and I would say that the first, like, or not even the first, it's like when I make beats, I don't really like have like a set sound, if that makes sense. Not saying that like I have like different stuff every time, but especially if I'm locked in with an artist, I kind of go off of their sound, and then I put my own spin to it. Like I try not to like copy other people, obviously, but you have to like follow like a set like idea for like the certain type of beats that people are looking for. But if I had to like classify a sound, you got to have the drums knock. If the drums don't knock, people don't cut the song off. That, and really, but as far as like with melodies though, I kind of just toy around with different stuff. I try not to, because if I keep making like the same type of stuff like over and over and over again, I get drained. But if you experiment and do like different stuff, especially like switching from like rap to R&B, it allows you to like just think outside of what you would normally do, instead of just like having like trap piano and then just like 808. Like you can add so many different elements to different stuff.
How you keep your drive going? Switching from back and forth.
Honestly, I'll kind of like when I first sit down, I'll either, if I have something like to work on, like if somebody needs beats, then I'll do that. But if people are like, if nobody's needing me, then I'll just start off with however I'm feeling. Like I don't ever have like a blocked out. Like I'm making rap beats from 10 to 2, and then from 2 to 6. I'm making. It's not really as far as that, but it's more of just like however I'm feeling that day. I'll just cook up whatever I feel like making. But yes, sir.
So what's some of your goals for 2022?
Definitely have them. If I can get these unreleased songs out, that'll be a major. There's a song I got with the song that I mentioned earlier with Get Rich Zay. That song, I'd be surprised if that song didn't hit 200K. But I guess that'd be like a goal just by having like me and DTM's name out there. Get my YouTube. If I can get I had like a list of goals like set on my phone, but probably like if I can get my YouTube to 500. I know it's starting small, but you got to start somewhere, and then just locking in more with artists. If I can, the more artists I can lock in with, and just build that relationship with, I feel like I'll be more successful later on.
Any more plugs you want to shout out?
Definitely shout out Speak Life Studio. That's especially from the past like 4 months, they've turned me into just a completely different producer. Got to shout out RetroTv. I appreciate y'all boys for pulling up on me.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
For sure, bro. Yes, sir.
RetroTv.
Wait.
Oh, some more?
All right.
I was done. My bad. Oh.
Nah, bro. It's all good. Nah, definitely. Shout out Yoshi. Don't know. Shout out Mellow Knight, Jordan and Yoshi, and just all the boys. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all watching this. If y'all here to the end, y'all real. I appreciate that. But
I got one more question. How are you mentally?
good question, bro. I appreciate that. A lot of times, I don't. When you get asked that, it makes you feel good. I would say I'm in a much better space. There was a while where, especially during COVID, it was just like, especially if you don't have nothing to do. When I was making beats, it was cool. When I wasn't, it was kind of like not necessarily like a fog, but it was just hard to like concentrate. I wasn't necessarily depressed either. It was just kind of like,
I'm just here to
yeah, like you were. I was kind of like, I'd wake up and do stuff, and then after that, I would just kind of like, I would feel like I was just going from this to this to this, and I didn't really have like a purpose for real. But just over time, and especially like my girlfriends helped me, my friends, shout out all my boys have just been there. Jordan, my parents especially. Shout out my mama, shout out my dad too. I forgot that, but yeah. So definitely from the growth I've seen for myself in the past, probably a good year, 6 months. I'm in a much better headspace for sure, and I'm just excited for what's to come.
That's number one, man.
So absolutely, I appreciate you asking me that, bro. That's real. Yes,
I like it.
I'll pass it back.
Touch the soul. Gotta touch the spirit, man. This is RetroTv and we signing. Oh, you got something?
No, I was saying you got me blushing over here, bro. I appreciate it. I feel warm inside, man.
This RetroTv. Oh. We have to bless you, young Reverend.
Appreciate it.
You're gonna cut the TV off. Alright, you're gonna sign this this MF off. Your mom and dad might be watching. I'm sorry, Mr. Lawson.
Alright. Like I said, shout out RetroTv. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm gonna dap y'all up before we go. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all tapping in, and
we out.
I'll see you next time.